Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. How are you guys doing today? A Sunday with no brunch. We did not go to brunch today because my husband is on his way home from his bachelorette weekend in Tennessee. He's very, very tired. He has been giving me updates along the way. They are currently in Kentucky, and they should be home about 6 o'clock. It is currently, little time and temperature check, it is currently 3:42 p.m. It is very, very humid out today. It's very humid. I actually thought that when I started the camera that it was going to all like frost up because it is so humid out today. I don't think it's that hot, but it's pretty humid. Tanya had told me the other day that she said Sunday was going to be a beautiful day to go to the pool. It's not. It's full cloud coverage. It looks like it's going to rain. But it is, oh, it says river flood warning. River flood warning, warning. It is 78 degrees. So I guess it is pretty warm today. 78 degrees and cloudy. Let's see that. It feels like it's going to rain. It looks like it's going to rain. But it doesn't say if there is any rain at all. And then tomorrow it's going to be 82, overcast. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Tuesday, 82, rain showers early. Wednesday, 86, scattered thunderstorms in the morning. Thursday, my neighbor and I were just talking about last night about, so she was walking her dog around the neighborhood and I passed her on my walk, and so we stopped and talked for a second. And I was like, we've got to figure out a day this week to go to the pool. And she's like, it's supposed to rain every day this week. And I guess she was kind of right, except for Thursday and Friday, it looks nice. Thursday is a few passing clouds, otherwise generally sunny. Friday, 86, mostly sunny skies. Oh, Saturday, 90. Oh, look at this. Saturday, 91, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Sunday, 93 degrees, a mainly sunny sky. So we may be going to the pool on Sunday because what is coming down the street? It's not a car. Is it a lawnmower? Is it a golf cart? It sounds like it's just kind of stalled in the middle of the street somewhere. Is it going down the street? Is it coming back the street? I can't see because of the two walls. So I can only see what happens in front of me, and I can, oh, there it goes. What is that? It is a driving lawnmower that this guy's just like driving down the street. What? Do you guys remember that movie back in the day? Oh my God, why did that just remind me of that movie? I think the movie was called Straight Story. It was by David Lynch. If I remember this correctly, I'm like, I'm basically a genius. I'm a genius of film. So I love the director, David Lynch. Why do I feel like it was Bruce Dern that was in it and Laura Dern, his daughter? Because Laura Dern was in a lot of, maybe that's why I'm thinking it's a David Lynch movie. But Laura Dern was in a lot of David Lynch movies back in the day, like Wild at Heart, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. I haven't actually seen it in years. I should watch that this summer. My mom loved Mulholland Drive, that movie. But anyway, there was a movie called Straight Story. I think it was called Straight Story. Something like that. And it was about, I know Bruce Dern was in it, so I can look it up that way. But it was about this guy. It was based on a true story that he just like wanted to go see his friend or go home one last time before he passed away. And so he rode a riding lawnmower across like 3 states. Did you guys ever see this movie? It was fantastically done. Straight, what did I say it was called? I just forgot. I hate that word brain fart. I absolutely hate that word, but it's literally like when people go, oh, it's a brain fart. Straight Story. But that's literally what just happened to me. Okay, Straight Story. Oh, it is called Straight Story. 1999. Who directed it? David Lynch directed it. Who is in it? Oh, Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Maybe that's why I remember it. I was nominated for that. Oh, it was Richard Farnsworth. It wasn't... And Sissy Spacek. Maybe that's why I remember it. Well, I guess I was wrong about Bruce Dern being in it. I guess I'm not such the genius I thought I was. A retired farmer and widower in his 70s, Alvin Stray Richard Farnsworth, learns one day that his distant brother, Lyle, Harry Dean Stanton. Oh, maybe that's why I was thinking it was Bruce Dern, because Harry Dean Stanton's in a lot of his movies too. Has suffered a stroke and may not recover. Alvin is determined to make things right with Lyle while he still can. But his brother lives in Wisconsin while Alvin is stuck in Iowa with no car and no driver's license. Then he hits on the idea of making the trip on his old lawnmower, thus beginning a picturesque and at times deeply spiritual odyssey. Look, it says on here, see also Mulholland Drive and Wild at Heart. I love Sissy Spacek so much. Has she been, what's her most recent movie? Let's look and see. I was born to be a coal miner's daughter. Sissy Spacek is probably one of my top 3 favorite actresses of life. Up there with Diane Keaton and Jessica Lange. Julianne Moore. Frances McDormand. Those are probably my top 5. Jessica Lange, this is going to sound interesting. Well, first of all, one interesting fact about this is Carrie is probably one of my least favorite films of life. I think that Sissy Spacek was fantastic in Carrie. I love horror movies. Carrie is not like one of my favorite, like, horror movies or movies of life. We're going to talk about paranormal in a second, but the telekinesis and stuff like that, I don't love those kind of movies. So that's not one of my favorite movies of hers. But interestingly enough, Jessica Lange, so one of the reasons why those 3 actresses are like in my top 3 is because of a movie called Crimes of the Heart. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but I've talked about it before on here. Crimes of the Heart, and it's a very sad movie. I think it's based on a Marcia Norman play. But kind of imagine like Steel Magnolias, but like the independent version. And it's these 3 sisters, Jessica Lange, what's her face, Sissy Spacek, and Diane Keaton. They're 3 sisters from the South. And Tess Harper lives next door to them as their cousin. And so it's about like them coming back together in life. It's really, really sad. Night Mother. All of these movies are really about sad topics. Night Mother with Sissy Spacek is also one of my favorite movies. So anyway, but that's before all that. Like, I love Jessica Lange. Cape Fear. If you've never seen Jessica Lange in Cape Fear, there's a scene where she's like sitting in the window watching Robert De Niro on 4th of July with like the fireworks going off, and she's smoking a cigarette out on her like front porch. My friend and I back in the day, this is my friend that's the doctor, that we went on one date and decided we would be better as friends. He lives in Florida now with his boyfriend, but he and we would watch that movie, and all we wanted to do, so Sissy Spacek, or not Sissy Spacek, Jessica Lange and Sam Shepard lived on a farm in Minnesota for years and years and years, and all we wanted to do was like road trip it. I think I've shared this story too. So back in the day, when did Cape Fear come out? Let's look and see what year that movie came out. Cape Fear, Jessica Lange. What year did that come out? 1991. Oh my God. Well, this would have been after I got sober, because he was one of my only friends that he's just a really good guy, and he really helped me a lot with my sobriety and stuff like that. So anyway, we would talk about how we were going to drive to Minnesota, and all we wanted to do was, just because we love that scene where she's smoking a cigarette at this window, we wanted to roll up on Jessica Lange on her farm, and we wanted to sit on her front porch and smoke a cigarette with her. That was our goal for the road trip. And while we were on the way there, we were going to stop at all these like mom and pop diners, and we were going to write this book called Slaws of America. I think I've talked about this on here before, but it would have, don't you think that'd be really good? It'd be just like one of those like picture books you just open, and then it would say, you know, like Judy's Diner, and then it would have like a picture of her slaw, and then we would like rate the slaw and write a little paragraph about it. I think it's actually a genius idea. Is there a book called, we should look it up and see, is there a book called Slaws of America? If it came out after like 1995, then they stole the idea from us. Slaws of America book. Because we both love coleslaw and macaroni salad, incidentally. Slaws of America book. There has to be one. No. It's pulling up all the laws of America. Slaws, coleslaws of America. Let's look that up and see. Oh my God, the crossover. I was born to be a coleslaw miner daughter. Cause it's cloudy today. I'm over here singing. I done wrote me a real good song. Like Loretta Lynn. That's what she says in the movie to her daughter. She says, what? I said, you're a coal miner's daughter. I am a coal miner's daughter. You better check yourself. Yeah. Over there in your secret garden. I need to stop it because she started saying names. Are they what? Done painting. No, I don't think so. They still have to do the back. Okay. What's that you're carrying in your hand? It's from my vacuum cleaner. Oh. I just dumped out all the cat fur I swept up. Oh. Yeah. You clean it up on this Sunday? Look at all this stuff in the air. Look at this. Because I'm too busy during the week running here and there. Yeah. Look at all the, do you see all this in the air all of a sudden? Cottonwood. It just came out of nowhere. No wonder I've been sneezing like crazy. Well, have a good day. You too, Secret Garden. She was telling me who's giving her a hard time about her garden this year. There's always somebody giving her a hard time. Your garden's too far out to the street and stuff like that. She goes, did you hear that? I was like, no names, baby, no names. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to this. So Sissy Spacek, what movies of hers do I love? Let's go in here and look. People ask me all the time, they're like, did you watch Bloodlines? Okay, so I loved Bloodlines on Netflix. Alex and I wanted to go to where they filmed that. It's actually supposed to take place, I think, in Key West, but they didn't film it there. They filmed it, like, in Isla something. We can look, should we look that up? Where was Bloodlines filmed? Because Alex and I looked back in the day. That stuff is coming, it's good. Oh, and then it just kind of stopped. Where was Bloodlines filmed? Here it is. See, I almost got it right. The Netflix series Bloodline was primarily filmed in the Florida Keys, specifically around Isla Morado. We wanted to go there and stay at the hotel. So this is the thing that's interesting about that show, is that if you've ever been to the Keys, there's not lots of beaches where you just like lay on the beach and walk out. It's a lot of reefs and things like that. But on that show, they show that they have like this gigantic beach. They show them like, because they own a hotel, they show them like raking the beach and stuff like that every morning. What was I gonna say? Oh, so yeah, I watched that whole show. Alex watched the entire thing. I watched all of it except for like the last season. I started the last season and I don't know why I stopped it, but I stopped it at some point for some reason. I do that with a lot of shows. Like Alex the other day, I said, I really need a good show to binge. And he goes, you should watch How to Get Away with Murder. And I said, babe, I watched that. I watched like all of the last 2 seasons. He was like, why did you just stop? Jane the Virgin, I did the same thing. There's a point when I kind of get like bored of a show. I don't think, this is the thing, right? Like, I don't think that today with like binging shows, oh my God, I started a new show last night that's so good. I don't think that today with binging shows, I would necessarily stop it. But back then, when it was like an episode a week, if I got like 2 or 3 episodes behind, it's like with Elsbeth and Matlock. Oh, Found is a good example of this. So, like, if Found was not canceled this season, I don't even know that I would continue to watch it because I just got so bored that when I found out I had 5 more, I thought the season was over. And so when I found out I had 5 more episodes to catch up on, I was like, I am not invested in the show enough anyway. There's other things I want to watch. I think sometimes I get committed to shows and then I feel like I have to finish them out. When there's so many shows that I want to watch and so many books that I want to read, that why would you continue watching a show that you don't have any interest in? So I just don't watch those shows. I just stop those shows. But anyway, so Jane the Virgin I did the same thing with. Pretty Little Liars I did the same thing with. We both started that together. We both started Jane the Virgin. We both started How to Get Away with Murder. Scandal we both started. Revenge we both started together. He finished all those shows. I didn't. Oh, here comes Shorty. Shorty! Is that you? I just put down, oh my God, I just put down all the corn. My neighbor was out there and she's doing her garden and stuff. My neighbor next door, the one that her husband fixed my drain pipe. Hi, honey. How are you? How little Shorty? He kind of reminds me of Boo Radley a little bit. Do you guys want to see Shorty? He's so sweet. He just comes over here by himself. I don't think he has a whole lot of friends. He's just living his best life right there. Look at Shorty. I just put out all this corn. Hi, Shorty. He says, look at me. I'm just my own person. Don't mind me. That's Shorty. I know Shorty because Shorty always comes by himself. And as soon as the other ducks come, he, like, runs away. They don't pay him no mind. He's always just by himself. Yesterday, there were 2 other ducks that came over. I think it was yesterday or the day before. There was 2 other ducks that came over when he was over here. And then, like, they kind of, like, pushed him out of the way. And he just kind of, like, stood back. And then he finally just, like, kind of, like, flew off. And then, I don't know, he just doesn't like to be around the other ducks. It's interesting to me. This is, like, such, like, I could write a book about Shorty the duck. I could write an entire storyline about Shorty the duck and everything. But I'm so glad, Shorty, I'm so glad that you're the first one over there at the buffet. Because I literally, before I started this vlog, I just filled the bird feeders. And I put down all this corn. You guys want to hear what's so crazy? Okay, on that ground around the tree, if I don't want to scare him, or I would go show you guys right now, I probably have, like, literally, I have, like, a, you know, like, 1 cup measuring cup. I probably have on the ground around the tree 6 cups of cracked corn and peanuts. It's like this mix together with seeds, but it's mostly corn. I probably have maybe more than that, 6 to 8 cups that I just scoop out and throw on the ground. That corn is gone every single day, okay? Not to mention that last night when I was out here doing my prayers and meditations, there was 2 bunnies in the yard. And so I bought this it's like this herbivore treat mix for outdoor critters and stuff like that. But it's like flowers and dandelions and stuff like that. And it's like, but they're like dried. I put them underneath the tree. They're gone every day now, okay? Then when I was sitting here, oh my God, you guys have no idea what I just spotted in my weed garden that we haven't been able to do yet because I was just telling my neighbor this today. She's like, well, I'm starting on this because supposedly they're getting done with the painting this week. I was like, did they say this week? She's like, yeah, supposedly this week. But it's supposed to rain the first 3 days, so that means they won't be out here. But anyway, I just spotted a dandelion. A yellow dandelion, which is really a special treat for rabbits. Okay, so last night, at the end of the walkway, because I wanted to know, like, if they took it and left, or if it was there. The 2 little bunnies were out there. Well, I was sitting here, it was right in the middle of when I was doing my prayers and meditations, and I was looking at them, and there was one at the end of the walkway, and then one hopped over, and then the other one hopped over next to them. I think they're brothers, like Boo and Tucker. So anyway, look, did you see that float by? So anyway, there was 2 dandelions, but they were like dead dandelions where you blow them and make a wish on them. And so I went and very slowly, I could see them at the very end of the walk. I picked them and I laid them down on the walkway because bunnies are supposed to be a special treat for them. Nikki told me that. And today when I came out here, they were gone. Both of the dandelions. I mean, the whole stems and everything were gone. I was like, oh my God, they love the little dandelion traits. So there is a yellow dandelion over there, and I'm going to pick it, and I am going to put it at the end of my walkway for the bunnies today. The bunnies love it. But my neighbor today, there goes Shorty. He's getting scared of something. Yeah, he flew away. Some car must be coming down the street or something. Yeah. My neighbor was out there. Well, my neighbor's in the corner. They were taking videos. He was doing some video for one of his kids that lives out of state. And he was showing them the hostas and how the hostas are growing and stuff like that. Very slowly. Gave him a hard time about it the other day. I said, you should have just used her because she helped me. Well, this one over here is not doing great this year. But she helped me transplant them last year. And, I mean, they're doing pretty good. The ones on the end are doing pretty good. But anyway, I said, you should have just used her instead of hiring a landscaper. And he goes, oh. He goes, look at your hostas. My hostas are huge over here. But anyway, so they were taking a video across the street. And then my neighbor was outside. And she was gardening and stuff like that. We were talking about the painting getting done. And I was feeding the birds. And so she came over here and she was talking to me. And she was like, I just love that you put this stuff down here every single day. And I was like, yeah. I was like, and I was showing her what she came over here. I was filling the bird feeders. And I was showing her about the corn. And I was showing her about the alfalfa things. And everything that I was telling about the dandelions in the end. And she's like, you love this, don't you? And I was like, oh my God, this is just made me so happy. It's so weird to think that I've always liked to watch the birds and the squirrels and stuff. I used to talk about the squirrels on the back porch and stuff like that. That's the area that they still have to do is the back. Apparently, I haven't really gone out there a whole lot. I went over there out the other day, but I didn't really look around that much. But I was asking her husband today. I said, you have the best husband in the entire neighborhood. He came over here again today and was looking at the drain pipe and stuff like that. So, he has this theory of why we had that rotted wood up there because our 2 roofs, my neighbor and I, they go together like this, and then when the water runs off the roof, Tanya was saying this to me the other day, and I didn't understand what she was saying, but he was pointing it out to me, and I was like, oh, and I was in that moment, I was like, I get what Tanya's saying now. The drain pipe's up there, but the water from the roof is not going in the drain pipe. It's just going down onto so it's rotting that wood over there. He's like, they've got to do something to get the water, because the roofs are connect. It's her roof goes this way and our roof goes this way, and so the water's coming together, pooling down. He thinks that's why it's dripping right there. But I got 2 emails into the maintenance company, so when she's back in the office tomorrow, I'll email her again or call her or whatever and talk to her about what needs to happen with that, because that cannot continue. I can't believe it wasn't a problem all the years that my mom lived here, honestly. But anyway, so I was telling her, I said, I put this food down every single night, every single day, the corn and all this kind of stuff. And I said, and the next morning I come out here, it's literally, there's not, you cannot find a piece of corn out there. It is gone. It is picked through. The seed on the ground, picked through. It looks like there's no bird seed, no corn. I mean, it's literally picked through every single day. And the bird feeders are empty and whatever. She's like, oh, you have a lot of action over here. I do. So anyway, today has been a busy day. I got up today, and this is actually my first cup of coffee for today. I put it in my little cup. I keep on forgetting that I have these glasses that I bought from Sullivan's. But got up today, and I slept in a little bit because I knew we weren't going to brunch because Alex isn't home. Did my prayers and meditations, and then called my dad, and the whole, you know, Happy Father's Day stuff. My dad, because I know people will be like, Peter, why didn't you do anything with your dad and stuff like that. My dad does not. Like, he likes to plan things way in advance, and they usually like to coordinate it to leave the house on a day that their dog is getting groomed. So it usually has to be like on a Friday. And so, because I know people will be like, Peter, why aren't you seeing your dad for Father's Day? So, first of all, my dad could give a rat's ass about Father's Day, number one, okay? Before I talked to him, I texted him. This was my dad's text to me, if you want to hear it, okay? I texted him before I talked to him, and I said, Happy Father's Day, Dad. Hope you have the best day ever. And he said, my best day ever was about 40 years ago. He said, thanks for thinking of me with a smile, and then I called and talked to him. But anyway, so we are going to do lunch. He and Alex and my stepmom and I are going to do lunch. We're going to arrange that and stuff like that. We're going to do like a combined birthday, Father's Day. What is this tractor that keeps on coming up and down the street? This is kind of cracking me up now. Because it's not the landscapers. The landscapers aren't out here on a Sunday. So I wonder if it's like somebody driving to the pool and back on their like riding lawnmower. That kind of cracks me up if it is. So anyway, so my dad and my stepmom and Alex and I are going to do like a lunch together for like a combined like birthday, Father's Day thing. So anyway, I was doing that, and then I know my husband, he is so tired. He is so tired today. I am so jealous. On the way there and on the way back, they went to Buc-ee's. I have never been to a Buc-ee's in my entire life. Everybody tells me that I would love Buc-ee's. Is it like really a thing? Oh, by the way, an update. Nikki got her Lulu this morning, or whatever it's called. She's so excited about it. She got up this morning at like 6:30 to get in line. She waited in line for an hour and a half for that stuffed animal. I texted her. She must be asleep, because I texted her and I said, oh my God, what are you going to name it? She sent me a picture of it. What time would she send me this? Oh, she waited in line longer than that. Oh, Lord, because I was at like 11 something, 11:38. She got in line at like 7:45. No, ma'am, not for a utensil for your purse. Not for a utensil for your purse. What was I saying? Oh, Alex. Let's text him and see. He said he's lost his voice, too. He was not enjoying the party. But they had really a good time in Chattanooga yesterday. They like went bar hopping and stuff like that. I don't think any of them was real upset that they didn't go to Bonnaroo. I don't know why. I mean, they get their money refunded. But, I mean, even before, I was like, are you real excited about Bonnaroo? And he's like, well, it's not like, it's not like, you know, like Ultra Coachella or something. I was like, well, it's similar. He didn't know, like, Alex didn't know a lot of the people that were playing there, because there was like a handful of EDM people, right? But he was going for the experience and all that kind of stuff. He's like, yeah, but it's supposed to rain, it's going to be real muddy and all this kind of stuff. I just don't think that any of them were, I mean, I think because they were there, they're going to go, but I don't think it was like any of them were that excited about it. And he says, last night he said, yeah, a lot of fun, for sure tired, but ready for a quiet night's sleep. And so then we were talking last night, and he was telling me that they were going to check out at like noon today from the Airbnb, the cabins they got. And then he was like, I miss you. And I was like, I miss you too. And then this morning, he said, morning, packing up the car and leaving, so ready to be home. That was like at 11:50. And I said, yay, just getting up, can't wait to see you. He said, same, I'm so ready to be home. He said, I also have no voice. I said, oh, I'm sorry, babe. He's going to come home tonight, and he is going to, like, go right to sleep. I just know that. I just know tonight is, which, in all honesty, I'm so into the show that I started last night, and I really want to take a walk tonight, too, a long walk. I took the longest walk since I started walking again, I took last night. But anyway, so I know he's going to come home, take a shower, and go right to bed. Oh, but this was going to say about Buc-ee's. So on the way down there and on the way back, they've stopped at Buc-ee's. and I am like so jealous. I am like, I want to go to Buc-ee's so bad. I almost asked him to bring me a Buc-ee's shirt, and then I was like, I feel like I want to get a Buc-ee's shirt when I go to Buc-ee's for the first time. But anyway, it's not like a rite of passage to go to Buc-ee's. I feel like I know so many people that have gone to Buc-ee's, and they just are like rave about it. Tanya loves Buc-ee's, and I was like, what is it about Buc-ee's? She's like, it's like this big store. She's like, and you get stuff there that you can't get at other places. And she was like, but it's also like a restaurant, gas station, whatever. I was like, so it's basically just like a big truck stop. She's like, yeah, but it's better than that. And I was like, what makes it? She's like, it's so much better than that. I'm like, I don't get it. Because you won't really get it till you go to one. Melissa raves about like the food, like the chicken fingers or something there. I don't know, but anyway. When Melissa goes on her New Kids on the Block stuff, she is like, well, she's getting ready to go to the Vegas thing, whatever they're doing out in there. But anyway, they always, when they're doing the road trips for New Kids on the Block, she's always, for the blockheads, they're always doing the Buc-ee's and things like that. She's always posting the pictures of the Buc-ee's. So anyway, today I got up, did my prayers and meditations, talked to my dad, was feeding stuff, and, what was I watching yesterday? It like made me really, like, it was weird, you know, I was thinking about, like, I was watching something and they were talking about somebody's age, and no, I was talking to somebody and they were saying something about their maybe it was a book I was listening to. I don't know, but they were talking about, like, they said something about, like, yeah, my dad is really old. He's like 75. And I was like, my dad's going to be 85 this year. And my dad is still, like, going strong. And I mean, I don't know. It's strange to me, you know, like, but my grandma, my dad's mom, lived to be 93, you know, and then my dad's dad died at 74 from a massive heart attack, but he did not eat healthy, and he wasn't, like, extremely overweight or anything. I mean, he was a little bit overweight, but, and we don't, like, have a family history of heart issues or anything like that. So anyway, and then my dad's brother died, but my dad's brother was, like, I think he was, like, 90 when he passed away, and my dad's sister, so my dad's oldest brother, my dad's only brother passed away several years ago. And then my dad's oldest sister passed away. I think she was like 88 when she passed away. And then my dad's next sister up, she's 90. She turned 90 this year. She still lives alone on a farm. Like, not a working farm anymore. She rents out the land and stuff like that. But she, like, lives alone on this farm, and, like, she texts me and stuff like that. And, I mean, she's still going strong. I mean, you would not know she was 90. Like, I see pictures of her. She's got real short hair. When I used to go stay on the farm with her in the summer, she'd be like, she wanted to be Tanya Tucker so bad. And she'd sing all this country music to me, and she's got real short hair. And she looks like kind of like a country music singer a little bit. I love her so much. She's my Aunt Janny. I love her so much. And, so anyway, I mean, I see pictures of her. I'm like, I don't know, like, I feel like for me, like, people get to 70 and they kind of stop aging a little bit. I don't know what it is. But then my dad and her sister, the next one up, I think she's 4 years older than my other, she's 94. And she does live in, like, a retirement home, but it's, like, assisted living. Like, she goes and travels and visits her kids in Texas and stuff like that. Like, she takes a plane by herself. Like, she's just, like, that's where her apartment is. This is this assisted living program. And she ran every day, like 5-10 miles a day, every day till like 10 years ago. She and my dad were big runners back in the day. So anyway, I don't know, it's just weird for me. And then, like, you know, my mom and my aunt are both gone on that side. I mean, everybody on my mom's side is gone except for Caroline and I. So Alex is really wanting to, Tanya's talked to me about this too, but Alex recently is wanting to do, like, those full body, I don't know anything about it really, those full body scans are supposed to be like super preventative medicine or whatever. He's like, would you want to, I think you have to go places like Atlanta to get them done. They only have them in certain places where, like, they do a full body scan. It's like, where they can, like, tell you all of, like, your preventative stuff. Like, Alex is really, really big into all that. So, but I don't know. I was thinking the other day, because I can remember when, so I'll be 53 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? I don't even know what day of the week my birthday is on. Alex's birthday is a week from yesterday. Yeah, Alex's birthday is Saturday. My birthday is 2 weeks from today. My birthday is 2 weeks from today. And I'll be 53 years old. And I was thinking about it, you know, it's weird, like, So my mom got sober when she was 51. I remember my dad, how old would I have been? Hold on a second. So that would have been, I wonder if I remember that so clearly, because that would have been 30 years ago and my dad turned 55. Because I can remember he just kept on going, double nickels, double nickels. And somebody that he worked with, one of the nurses that he worked with, or I think like all the nurses in surgery or something like that, they put 55 of those pink flamingos in his yard. Like that was like a service you could buy. And my dad just got such a kick out of it. He thought it was so hilarious. And he just kept on going around that day going, double nickels, double nickels. Well, I remember, so that would have been 90, that would have been I would have been coming up on a year sober. And I remember going to his house, because he's like, Pete, you gotta come over here and you gotta see this. And so I came over to his house, and he had all those pink flamingos. He was taking pictures of it, and he was like laying down. It was hilarious. And I remember he and my stepmom were getting ready to go on a trip. They've always taken really, really long trips. And I think that was when they were going to, they might have been going to, so my dad and this family friend of ours, that was like my mom's friend and then his friend and my stepmom's friend, they always rent a house like in Europe for like 3 months. These people are very, very wealthy. I mean, like unbelievable wealthy. She was really, really good friends with my Aunt Kathy. Actually, the last time that I saw her and her 2 oldest daughters was at my aunt's funeral. And Alex had never met her, and so we sat, and Alex had heard all these stories about her, and because I loved fashion when I was growing up, and so she would come, and she would like visit, and she would like be unpacking, and I can remember at my aunt's house, and she was like staying in Caroline's room. I don't remember when this would have been, but anyway, she was like unpacking all this kind of stuff, and she was like showing me all these things that she had, and she was like, and this is like my new Chanel suit. I must have been a little bit older, because she was like, she had Christian Lacroix stuff, and that was like later, so, but she loved fashion so much. And she has like, her house, she has pictures of like her, like, not just like standing next to like Prince Charles and Lady Diana, but like laughing with them, like at a dinner. Like they're laughing. It's like a caught motion picture that she's like framed in her house. And like Elizabeth Taylor, she like knew all these people. Crazy stories that when they're gone someday I'll tell the stories on here. But anyway, they're still kicking too. They're who we used to go skiing with, because they used to have a house on the side of the mountain next to, who are the people that have the house on the side of, I can't think of who it is. Anyway, in Park City, Utah. So we used to go up there, my dad and my stepmom and I, and we used to go stay with them. But anyway, why was I talking about that? So they used to rent a house in Europe, like a different part of Europe, like every summer for like 3 months, and take their kids there and stuff. She's got 2 kids from her previous marriage that are like older than me. So this is how they all met, okay? When my mom and my aunt lived in an apartment in Indianapolis, and my aunt was dating somebody before she met my Uncle Dave, and no, wait. This would have been after that, because she would have been dating my Uncle Dave, because my mom and her were living in this apartment, and it's when my mom started dating my dad. And below them was this woman who was not wealthy at all. She was very not wealthy at all at this time. Below them in the basement apartment with her then husband, who her 2 oldest daughters are with. And so, and like my mom and my aunt like loved their kids, were at all their weddings and stuff like that. So anyway, you remember the story I told you guys about how like when my dad and I would go to Chicago for the weekends, on the way home we would stop, and they used to live in Hinsdale, and then they lived in like Oak Park, I think. And now they live in like, they took down a building and built a building in downtown Chicago. Anyway, and I think they may have sold that now too. I don't know where. I think they have another place somewhere in suburbs of Illinois. But anyway, that was the indoor pool that we used to go and stay in. Or we would go and I'd be like, I just sit there, and my dad would be like, she wouldn't mind if you wanted to go swimming. I'd be like, because I always brought my suit. And she'd be like, you want to go swimming? They had this indoor pool with like these French doors going into it. It was fantastic. But anyway, she and her husband were so nice. Are you coming over here to tell me something?
Yeah, I need your help.
You need my help? Okay, hold on. I'll be back in 2 and 2. Is that your Father's Day gift to them?
Still sit in the other ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it at the top.
Does it take a while?
Well, it will, because they're kind of big files, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be jealous of my big, huge hostas over here.
Where are they? Oh, these right here.
Oh, look at you trying to get in. That's how you and your buddies do in the golf course, right? Mm-hmm. Next year, just hire her for your landscaping over there. See, she replanted these.
Oh, she replanted those?
Yeah, I was telling you that the other day. Well, go send that and make sure that it gets through. Have a good Father's Day. So anyway, he was like, I need your help. I love this neighborhood so much. We all just help each other out, you know? So he filmed these videos to send to like his son and like his sister and all these people, but he doesn't know how to like send them. He's like, I have to send him like an email attachment. And I was like, well, are you wanting to send him as an email attachment? He's like, no, I want to text them to him. I was like, oh, okay. But he's like, I've got 2 videos. He's like, how do I pick them? And I can just send them, do I have to send them each? And so I was showing him how to like send the videos and stuff like that. He's really funny. I love this neighborhood so much. Okay, but anyway, so this couple that, their 2 youngest kids are like my age. And their daughters are like, oh, they can't be that old. They're a lot older than Caroline. God, they don't look like they are, though. Yeah, they've got to be like in their early 60s or something like that, their daughters. But anyway, God, that makes me feel old saying that. But anyway, and we used to all, like when we were growing up, like all of us hung out together and stuff. So anyway, so she and her husband used to like rent a house in Europe for the whole summer. And just like, they would just move there for the whole summer. Like they did the Cotswolds one time, and they did like the south of France, and then they did oh my God, these 2 little white butterflies are flying by right now. Oh my God, they're just like this together. I'm gonna show you guys if you can see it. Oh, they flew up and away. You can't see them. Dang it. I want to catch nature and I can't catch it. Here's another one, but we're not going to try because the butterflies are too fast. So anyway, I think the first time my dad went with them, like my dad and my stepmom would go for like 2 or 3 weeks and stay with them. I think the first time was in Positano, Italy. My dad loved it. It's like one of his favorite places. My dad's favorite places are like the south of France, south of Italy, and Santa Fe, New Mexico. Do not ask me why Santa Fe. My dad loves Santa Fe. He's like, it's beautiful. There's something very spiritual about it. My dad, like, they were going to retire in Santa Fe. Now my dad doesn't want to retire anywhere. He just wants to, well, he's retired, but he just wants to stay here. So anyway, but I think that was them because they were like leaving the next day. And I remember that year, like, they didn't just do that. Like, I think they flew into, like, they were in London. No, that would have been later. So they went to Positano, Italy, and they went to like all these small towns and stuff. And then later in the summer, my dad and my stepmom used to go to all the tennis things. They used to go to the US Open, the French Open, Wimbledon. They used to do that like every year for years. My dad and my stepmom are huge, huge, huge tennis people. My stepmom was like #1 in the state like 3 years. She played in leagues until probably about 10 years ago. My dad played tennis, like he was I'm not growing up, but he like after college played tennis. My mom was a huge tennis player. My mom played tennis like, I think from high school on, and my mom always played in leagues. Actually at this one place that my mom and my stepmom both played at, like right around the time that, this story actually kind of used to piss my mom off, but through time, my mom and my stepmom learned to get along very, very well, and because they had to co-parent together, and so my mom and my stepmom got along very well, but, so my stepmom played at one, like, racket club, and my mom played at another racket club, okay? There's, like, several different racket clubs in Indianapolis. I don't even know if, well, the one I know exists because it's by us. And that's the one where my stepmom played. Well, my mom had like a league championship at that one. And so when she checked in with the last name Monn. And the guy looked at her and he goes, which Mrs. Monn? And my mom goes, the first Mrs. Monn. My stepmom still cracks up over that today. Anyway, so I was thinking about that the other day because I was like, my dad was 55 and like, my dad would call me on like a Thursday, and I'd be like, he'd be like, hey, buddy. My dad always calls me, this is probably why I call everybody buddy today. My dad would call me buddy. He and my stepmom always call me, my stepmom calls me buddy. I don't know why. And Pete, they both call me buddy and Pete. So anyway, my dad would be like, hey, buddy. And I'd be like, what are you doing? He's like, we're in Atlanta. I keep on saying Atlanta. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, we're sitting in the Delta Crown room in Atlanta. And I'm like, this is at like 60. And I'd be like, what are you doing in the Delta Crown room? And my stepmom would be like, your dad said he wanted to be on an island. And they would just like overnight decide that they were just gonna like go somewhere. My dad would just be like, yep, took the week off. Didn't have surgery this week, so I decided that we were gonna get out of town. So we decided we were gonna leave. I go, when did you decide we were gonna leave? Last night. Got up this morning, we've been traveling all day. You know, we'll be in St. Martin by 8 tonight, you know, and stuff. And I think about that, and I think about I think being on YouTube and being like, I hate the word influencer, but it makes sense to everybody else. Being like in the influencer space, I think makes me feel older. Because when I'm around like people that are my age or a little bit older, I mean the majority of my friends, I'm the youngest of my friends, like my close friends. Most of my friends, Caroline's a couple years older than me, Tanya's a couple years older. I mean, most of my friends are a lot like in the 10 to 15 years older than me, you know? When I'm with them, I feel young. Online, I think, and looking up stuff online, like, I feel older because the majority of people that do what I do are not my age, you know? I mean, 35, to be honest with you, is kind of aged out a little bit for a lot of influencers. I love that I'm still doing it. You know, I think, if anything, I hope that I'm sending a message that you can do whatever you want to do at any age. But I think about that sometimes, like, with my dad, like, how my dad would respond to stuff. I mean, he just would be like, I could give a shit, you know? Like, that's just, my dad's always kind of been like that anyway. But, like, definitely at this age, he would have been like that. But I think about that, and I think about how sometimes I think, oh my God, how many years left do I have? How many, you know, like, maybe I won't be able to keep up with Alex and stuff like that and whatever. And my dad would, I mean, at that age, my dad was doing all kinds of stuff, going all kinds of places. I mean, they were going to concerts, they were doing, I mean, my dad was living his life, I mean, until about 70, honestly. And then he just kind of, like, started slowing down a little bit, and they didn't really travel a whole lot anymore, and, but, I mean, that had to do with some things, like, you know, both my dad and my stepmom had some, like, knee issues and stuff, and so they didn't travel as much as they did for a while. That's not true, though, because they went to Turks and Caicos quite a bit. They went to Europe a couple times. They still went to tennis stuff. Maybe 10 years ago was when they started traveling. They stopped traveling as much as they did. Probably 10 years ago. So till about 75, my dad was still, like, actively traveling a lot. And would still be today, I think, if it wasn't for, like, my dad's knee hurts him a lot, and so he doesn't like to walk long distances, and so he's like, I don't want to do airports because of that. But anyway, I remember that because they were so excited about going to Italy. And my dad, I'll never forget, he had, like, I mean, this is before Duolingo and stuff like that. And, like, around the house, he had bought some, like, Italian book, and he had, like, all the words for, like, what different things mean. And, like, for the kitchen, like, on the kitchen door, it was, like, he had all the different, and so he, like, as you went around, he would say, like, come in here. He would say it in Italian because I remember he was super excited about that trip because they were spending like 3 weeks in Italy or something, like 3 or 4. I think they were spending 3 weeks with her. And then, like, I can still see the pictures of the house in my head. And then, like, they were, like, maybe traveling for another week or something like that. But yeah, that was one of the things that was so nice about, like, traveling with my dad when I was growing up as a kid. I'm kind of blown away that no birds are coming out here yet. It might be too early. There's been the duck, but there really haven't been any birds in the bird feeders. They don't usually start coming out here till about 5:30, I think. But when I would travel with my dad when I was growing up, we would take, like, long trips. Like, a trip would, I mean, we didn't take a trip, like, for 7 days. It would be, like, minimum of 10 days. Because for my dad to get away and, like, cancel out surgeries and office hours and stuff like that and get somebody to take call for him, like, if he was going to do it, it was hard for him to do that. So, it wasn't like he traveled, like, he did as he got older. They traveled, like, once a month. But, like, when I was growing up, he couldn't do that. So it would be, like, 3 times a year, but it would be really long trips. Or it would be, like, if he wasn't on call for a weekend, we would go, like, we would leave on, like, a Thursday night. He would take Friday off, and we'd come back on Sunday. We did a lot of that when I was growing up. I think that's why he loved the boat so much when I was growing up, the sailboat in Michigan, because those were, like, trips that we could just, like, you know, do over a weekend or whatever, or something like that. He loved that boat so much. So anyway, I was talking to him, and then I was, like, trying to make the house, like, real nice. I mean, so when Alex left, first of all, we never, like, our house is, like, I always kind of explain to people as kind of, like, organized clutter. It really is not even cluttered. Like, our house really never gets that messy. I mean, it needs dusting. It needs, like, you know, cleaning down the counters and stuff like that. But Alex and I are so good about... We travel kind of very similar, too. Like, at home, like, we don't leave dishes in the sink. Like, if we eat something, we, like, rinse the dish, put it in the dishwasher. We both do our own laundry. His mom and I were talking about this the other day, because she was talking about how she would, like, after, like, age 12, he would never let her touch his laundry, because he was so specific about his laundry. And I was like, oh, I can remember one time years ago. I mean, like, we share, like, sheets and towels and stuff like that. We'll do together, but... like clothes. Like I can remember years ago, I like just like I mean, this was like our first year together. I like did a load of laundry of his just to be nice, and he was real sweet about it. He's like, please don't do my clothes anymore. He's like, I like them done a very specific way. He's like real weird about his clothes. So anyway, so I didn't really, when he left, I cleaned a lot. Like I cleaned the kitchen. I mean, I make the bed every day really nice with all the throw pillows and everything. It's not like it ever gets really messy. I've been trying to work on the bathroom a little bit this weekend, but I've got more to do. I was going to do like the shower and everything. I was like, you know what? I want to relax too. I'm not going to spend my weekend, cleaning everything. I'm just not going to do that. So, but today, to make the bed really nice for him when he comes home, he loves a gray comforter. We have like, I mean, in all honesty, we probably have 20. But like 10 summer comforters like in the basement all folded up in this rack down there. And so, and then he's got more that he's got like pressure sealed in those bags. So I was going to just bring up one of those, but he loves this like the gray one that we have on the bed right now. He loves that one. So I washed that and I dried it. And then I changed the sheets. He loves the bamboo sheets. I love the bamboo sheets. So I changed those out and then put the pillows on there. And then my little Pendleton blanket is in the washing machine right now, so I can wash it. He doesn't care. He doesn't really use that. And so I made the bedroom really nice. I sprayed the linen spray and did all that kind of stuff. Put all the fresh towels are in the bathroom. Towels are completely done. So when he comes home, he can just like take a shower and then go to bed and relax and stuff like that. Tomorrow I have a hair appointment. So I have to leave here about 11:30 tomorrow. And so, how are you? Hey, I have to leave here about 11:30 tomorrow. And so I have to get an Uber probably at like 11:15, which means I have to probably get up no later than like, I can probably get up about 10:15, 10:30 in all honesty. Especially if I take a shower tonight, if I walk. So when I got up today, I wasn't convinced I was going to walk. This pillow is upside down and it's driving me crazy. Which, by the way, I found these pillows in the basement. I have all this stuff to put out here. I have wind chimes to put out here. I have all this kind of stuff to put out here, and I can't put it out yet because I'm waiting for everything to be done. So, but do you guys remember those red and white pillows that I bought like months ago? I have like, and then I have these other pillows that I bought that are all different colors. They're real cute. They're like Simply Chic. So I'm either going to put them on the back patio or I'm going to put them out here. But let me just tell you this, okay? Do you remember how I was thinking about like buying a new couch and stuff for the summer for the back patio? I'm so glad that we did not do that. I mean, it's almost like, it's almost the end of June. No, I mean, we're in June already and we haven't even been able to enjoy the back. You can't go out there. Like, they've got their stuff everywhere and like all of our furniture is combined in the middle. But from them constantly picking up, it's not, okay, it's not the painter's fault or the people that have been doing it. It's like our furniture is so worn down anyway from sitting out there through the winter. It's fine. Like, it's all this kind of like fake wicker kind of stuff. But like sitting out there through the winter, it's just kind of gotten a little bit worn down. To use it is fine. But when you're picking it up and stuff, it starts falling apart. We need a new couch. So I'm glad that we did not get a new couch this summer because it would have gotten moved around and gotten hurt and stuff like that. So we'll just wait till next summer and get a whole new system. Look at this. Look at this. Sitting on me. This is all floating through the sky. Get away! I know somebody's gonna be like, that's your mom. No, my mom said when the stuff is floating through the sky, you'll know that I'm near, is what she said, or something like that. I don't see cardinals either. The house kind of happen in conjunction. Wouldn't it be so weird if I said that and then all of a sudden the cardinal just like swooped down? Anyway, so I did all that, and then, so the house is like all set. It's totally nice, and now I'm vlogging. Got the birds fed, talked to my neighbors. It's really weird. Like, this stuff is coming down right now, like, honest to God, it's like snow. Oh my God, there's like big pieces of it. And then it'll just stop and there's nothing, and then it starts up again and it's like totally like snow. My eyes are itching like crazy. I did take my allergy medicine. My throat's itching, my eyes are itching. And I did take my allergy medicine. God, it's everywhere. So anyway, last night, again, I was like, well, maybe I should take the night off and I shouldn't walk and stuff like that. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna walk. So I ended up walking last night, and I walked for Okay, so the longest I've walked since I've started is 2 hours and 26 minutes. Last night I walked for 2 hours and 27 minutes. Baby, you know, I rolled into this neighborhood at about 2 hours and 23 minutes, and I was like, you're keeping on walking until you get to 227. You're going to beat your goal tonight. So last night I finished that book that I finished that book that I was reading the night before, that I started the night before. I'm averaging like a book a day now for my walking, which is crazy. Challenge Details. What's that book called that I was reading? If you like slashers, my friend messaged me on Instagram. This is my friend that used to live with me, not my friend in Berlin, but the one I was talking about the other day that left because she said, I can't watch you like ruin your life. She messaged me. I posted that picture of me walking. I've been walking all these scary places, right? She goes, the better question is, why are you reading slasher novels? And I said, oh, I love them. This is how I know that we're all getting old. And she goes, I couldn't do that before I go to sleep. She goes, now that my son is gone, she goes, my husband doesn't get home until late. She's like, I'd be scared to death. But anyway, this book called You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron, I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. As far as it's like, it reads like a slasher movie. And it wasn't predictable. The end was not predictable at all. I really, really liked it. Okay, so the other day when I was walking, you guys, this is going to be a fun little game. Are you ready? This is going to be an ongoing game that we do, okay? So the other day when I was walking, I know some of you aren't going to care about this game. Oh, Monet left a comment, and she said, Peter, I miss you talking about cozy mysteries. Monet, I miss talking about cozy mysteries too. Girl, I was kind of surprised though, because you are all into the romances. People that think like I don't remember like the comments that people leave or who leaves them. If I talk about any book, Monet always says she loves it. I know, baby, I know you love the romances. Monet is probably one of the reasons why I am like trying to read some romances this summer, because I know that there's a lot of people that read other different things out there. Oh, by the way, I do want to say something while I'm talking about the walking really quick. Who is this that left this message? I think it's Alyssa, because I've commented on it before. Where's the comment? Alyssa said, this is on my most recent video from yesterday, my vlog. What happened to the new treadmill you just bought not too long ago for when you can't walk outside? Haven't heard you mention it anymore, with these 2 emojis like this. I don't know what those 2 emojis are insinuating, Alyssa. What happened to that treadmill? I don't know what that, I don't know what that, if you're trying to be cute or funny, like, I don't know what that means, okay? But I do know that you left a couple comments about the treadmill. So, and the reason I know this is because the last time that you left a comment about the treadmill, where's the treadmill, something like that, was like 5 or 6 days ago. And I said on that video the next day, I said, oh, somebody left a question asking about the treadmill. And what I said was, if you didn't hear me talk about it a couple days ago. So this is now my 3rd time talking about the treadmill. Okay. It cracks me up when people will people ask the same questions over and over and over again. And I'm like, oh, they really want to know about this. But, and I know, listen, I know they're just being sweet about it, but they'll ask the same questions, and I answer the question in a vlog, and I'm like, I think to myself, is that like the moment where they were flipping the bacon? Or is that the moment where they walked to go get a Kleenex in the bathroom, or something that they miss me saying that? Cause the treadmill thing I've talked about several times. I was sitting inside, and I said, oh, the treadmill, I moved it to the basement. That was time number 1 that I said it, okay? So, for those of you that have not heard this, the 3 previous times I've talked about it in the last week, I moved the treadmill to the basement. I even said this part because, first of all, it's taking up a lot of space in the living room, and I don't ever use it, okay? I don't love it. It's very narrow, and it's hard for me to walk on, but I will use it. But when I want to use it, it's kind of like late at night, and Alex is asleep. It's very loud if you've ever walked on a treadmill before. It's very loud. And so I moved it to the basement. I don't know why it had never occurred to me before. And so I have it like an area that I want to make is kind of like where I put my weights and everything down there and get a mirror. But until then, I can kind of move it over. I've said all this before. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I can move it in front of the washer and dryer, because it has wheels on the bottom of it where you can move it, and then I can put it up, and then I can listen to my audiobook. I can bring my iPad down there, and then I can close the door to the basement, and I can walk at 3 o'clock in the morning if I want to, when Alex is asleep, and then it won't disturb him, if that makes sense. But anyway, the previous comment was something like, Wasn't it, like, what happened to the treadmill? Didn't you buy it to keep you on track? I'm good on track. I walked 5 times in the last week for over 2 hours, 2.5 hours. In fact, somebody left a comment and said, I can't believe you walked that long. I can't believe I walked that long either, but that's what happened to the treadmill. So I told that story about a week ago. Then Alyssa asked about the treadmill, and I explained again, and now she's asking again. Okay, so treadmill's in the basement. Treadmill's in the basement, okay? I don't love the treadmill. I don't love it. I would rather walk outside. The reason I originally got the walking pad and the treadmill was because it was cold outside, it was rainy, and it was snowing. I think next winter, what I'll do is, I'll probably just walk outside in the rain and the snow and just bundle up, because I don't love the walking pad. If our basement was done and I could afford, and I was going to buy, like, a full tripod, I would do it. It's why people ask me all the time, like, what treadmill do you recommend? What walking pad do you recommend? It's why I won't recommend a walking pad, because the one that I bought, I think some people would love it. Do I think for the price? I mean, I got it on a sale price. I got it, like, you know, in some sale deal that day. And somebody recommended it to me. And that person, I don't know who you are, but she's reached out to me a couple times and like, I am so sorry that I recommended this. Girl, I bought it. I was the one that chose to buy it. You don't need to apologize at all, number one. Number two, it is a nice walking pad. It's a nice one. If I were, you know, like a little bit smaller, it'd be I kind of fall all over the I mean, I don't look down at the walking pad or the treadmill when I'm walking. I like to, like, watch a show or something, and I don't like to hold on to the sides. So, but anyway, I would prefer to walk outside. I got the walking pad because of, like, the snow and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe I'll use it. You know, I kind of go through phases. It's like, oh, who's the other one? Dee's been asking me about the Gorin Brothers hats. Well, thank you, Dee. You reminded me of the Gorin Brothers hats. First of all, I don't know how many of them. I mean, if I had to really be like, okay, Peter, give an accurate guess, like, marbles in the jar, I'd say I probably have 30 plus Gorin Brothers hats. They're the ones that have the animals on it. They're called the farm whatever. And she specifically asked me if I have the Silver Fox one. So I think the Silver Fox one is the one that I had on during the accident. And then somebody sent it to me. I don't know, if it was you, I showed the hat in a PO unboxing, and I love the hat. That was like a long time ago that I showed that. It made me cry and everything like that. I have all the hats. I don't really ever throw out hats unless the hats are destroyed. Like my Ultra Music Festival hats from, like, when I first started on YouTube, the neon ones are kind of destroyed. But thank you, Dee, for reminding me of those, because when I go into the closet, I have so many hats that, like, I'll be like, oh, I kind of feel like wearing this one. I think because for so long I wore the Gorin Brothers hats, and now they're everywhere. I see them on everybody. And so I'm kind of like, you know, I love them, and they fit my head so well, and I have so many of them. I still love them. But anyway, when I saw that comment from Dee, I was like, I need to bring out a couple of those Gorin Brothers hats. I usually always have one in my pool bag, the shark one. By the way, I think it's next Friday, because it's the 20th, is the 50th anniversary of Jaws, so we should all watch Jaws next Friday night together. But anyway, oh, there's a bird. But thank you, Dee, I think it was Dee that left that comment, because it reminded me, and I was like, I need to pull some of those Gorin Brothers hats out. So I'll pull some out, and I'll start wearing them in the videos. I love those hats. I stand by the Gorin Brothers hats. I don't know if there's, you know, but I haven't bought anything from there in a long time, because I have enough of them, and I love them. And I honestly, like, I still get the emails from them and stuff like that, and I don't really ever see anything that I'm like, oh my god, I have to have that. For a long time I did. I would, like, where did Tanya and I go? Was it like, what was the store, that store in the mall that has them? I think that was the last time that I bought one, was when I was with Tanya, and it was like Christmas time. Yeah, because she wanted this Carhartt sweatshirt that was neon green from Dick's Sporting Goods, and she wouldn't buy it for herself. And I said, let me buy it for you. And she goes, no. And I go, let me buy it for you. And she goes, no. And I said, Tanya, you do so much for me and whatever. And so then I ended up getting it for her for Christmas. And that was that same time. What was the store that we were at? And I bought one of the Gorin Brothers hats there. That was the last one I bought. I have so many hats. If I never bought another, I mean, first of all, to be honest with you, like, how long have I worn this hat for? They don't sell these hats anymore. The black and white one is the one that I walk with. So see this mesh stuff, which is, I love the trucker hats with the mesh on them. It kind of, like, over time, sometimes it rips and tears. That's what happened to my Ultra Music Festival ones. So I'm kind of worried. So that's why I buy, if I see a hat that I like, I buy 2 of them, because I'm like, and now they don't sell these Los Angeles hats anymore, the Hot Rod Los Angeles hats. They don't sell these exact ones anymore. But anyway, so yesterday I went on my walk, and the fun little game. I walked for 2 hours and 27 minutes yesterday, and I finished that book, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. 4 stars. I really liked it. Slasher. It's about, well, I told you it was about the other night. So, when I read the other night, This Book Will Bury You, I just randomly, I was like scrolling through, and I was like, oh, let's read this book, because a couple people have said it was good to me, and whatever. The Matt Haig book, I just randomly, The Life Impossible, I just randomly, now there's some birds coming over there. That y'all must be getting hungry, birds. She turned her head like that at me. Don't you turn your head that way to me. I was going to name her something. Bernadine. Angela Bassett from Wedding to Exhale. Don't you turn your head that way at me, Bernadine. Look at you. Who's this coming down the street? Anyway, so I've just kind of like been randomly picking out books. So last night when I was like done with that book, I wanted to pick a book quick, right? And so I was like, somebody said I really should read Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should do that. Then I was thinking Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's the next one, but I wanted to read a thriller. So I went through, and I was just kind of like looking at my last like 20 books that I bought. First of all, do you guys want to hear how ridiculous this is? Now, mind you, a lot of this is credits. A lot of it's sales that I bought on Audible, but it's kind of like a bookshelf. Do you guys want to hear how many books I do not have started? Not started in my Audible. Not started, okay? 584 titles. If I did not buy a book for a year, I couldn't even get through that. It would probably take me 5 or 6 years. Now, mind you, a lot of these books I probably would never want to read now that I bought them 10 years ago or something. So, I was going through, and I have 57 minutes left of this book. That's how much I listened to it last night. I started this book last night called You Killed Me First by John Mars. 2 times 5 speed. It was just over 4 hours when I started it, and I have 57 minutes left. Okay, so this book is a thriller, but it's paranormal, okay? And I will tell you that when I started it, I loved it. It's about these 3 women in like a suburb of London, and one of them is like kind of like bossy, runs the neighborhood. The other one is kind of like demure and kind of like a doormat to this woman a little bit. And then the other woman moves into town, and she's like beautiful, gonna start a yoga studio, all this kind of stuff. And each of them have secrets, and you don't know what it's about. That part of it, I absolutely loved, okay? Like, if he had just stuck with that, and the whole thing starts off with this woman, and she's in this bonfire, and she doesn't know who put her there, and she can't get out. She's like in a box underneath this bonfire that they do every year, and she can't get out, and she doesn't know who's trying to kill her, and she has this earpiece, and she's talking to this person that's like trying to kill her. So that's how the whole thing starts, and then it goes back like 11 months to this woman and her husband moving in this neighborhood, and all these secrets and all this kind of stuff. I loved that mystery part of it. But then, about 8 chapters in, y'all are making the rounds out there. You're getting around. Me too, me too. Can't you tell? So, it's this couple, they're pushing this baby in a stroller. She sometimes walks by herself, but she was with her husband today. It's so cute. So, about 8 chapters in, I'm like listening to this book. I'm so into this book, okay? Like 8 chapters in. And all of a sudden, there's different narrators on this book. All of a sudden, I'm not going to tell you, in case somebody's into this kind of stuff, if you've read the Simone St. James books, it's like Simone St. James. Like I was telling Nikki this last night. Except Simone St. James does it really, really well, okay? Like, you know from the get-go in a Simone St. James book that there's going to be like, when I say paranormal, I don't know what word to call it. It's like ghosts and things like that, okay? This isn't that. Well, kind of. I don't really want to ruin it for anybody, because but anyway. You know what? Let me read the synopsis first, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. Title details. Here, we're going to read it to you. You Killed Me First, John Mars. This was one of those Jordy's book clubs. The camera stopped. How long have I been vlogging now for? 3 women, 3 smoldering secrets, who will make it out alive. It's November 5th of November, and a woman awakens to a nightmare. Bound and gagged, she lies trapped in the heart of a towering bonfire. As the smoke thickens, panic sets in. She's moments away from being engulfed in flames. How did it come to this? Rewind 11 months. Margot, a faded TV star. Well, she's really a pop star, actually. Kind of like lower level version of the Spice Girls. And her long-suffering friend Anna watches glamorous Liv and her flawless family move into their street. The three women soon fabricate the perfect pretense of friendship, but each harbors her own deadly secret, and newcomer Liv senses something is terribly wrong beneath the polished exteriors. That part of it, I love, okay? I wish you would have just done that. As cracks widen and the veneer of perfection and lies escalate out of control, tensions ignite, bonfire night is approaching, and someone is set to burn, but who will it be? Okay, it doesn't even get into... See, that's probably why I bought this damn book to begin with. It doesn't even get into... Well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that likes it, but so there's different narrators, and then all of a sudden, halfway through, or 8 chapters in, it might be a third of the way through. It was late in the book. I was all of a sudden it just switched. I was so intrigued. I mean, I kept on walking because I just wanted to keep on listening to find out what happened. All of a sudden there was this narrator, and I'm like, who is this? I was like, I've never heard this narrator before. Now all the birds are coming. And it's this woman talking about how she was killed. And I'm like, wait, you're dead? But you're, narrating this book? I'm so confused about it. And then it's another person, 2 chapters later, that's dead. And somebody killed them first. And I'm like, I understand now. I'm an hour away from it, 57 minutes from being done with the book. I get the concept of the book. It's not good. If he had just stuck on those 3 women and their deadly secrets, baby, it would have been a 5-star. It was, I love the character development. I love their personalities. I mean, you can see these characters. That is how defined their characters are written. But then it brought in this nonsense. And I was like, I am not into that at all. But anyway, I came up with this idea, and then I told it to Nikki last night. She goes, oh, that is fun. So we're going to do it on camera, okay? So, because I have 584, I can't count back 584, but I can count back 50, okay? So, I've been just picking books at random. Now, this week, I have to start the James Patterson books, because I'm not going to wait till the very end of the month to get those James Patterson books done. But each of them is 7 hours, I think, so I can get those done one a day in 3 days walking. So, we'll save those for the end of the week. Oh, the battery is dying. Oh, we're getting to the game and the battery's dying. Hold on, I'm gonna get another battery. I'll be right back. 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. I walked inside and I was like, it smells so good in here. It smells so fresh. I actually sprayed this Christmas spray that Alex really, really likes, and I sprayed another spray that he likes upstairs, this linen spray that he likes and stuff like that. And it smells so good. And then I was cleaning with the bleach. I love the smell of bleach. So it just smells so fresh and clean in our house. Anyway, their road trip's taking them a while. They're in Louisville, Kentucky right now, which is Louisville is probably exactly 2 hours south of us. And then they're going to, because he drove to their house, the fiancés, he drove to their house that morning, so he has to drive from their house back to here, which is another 30 to 40 minutes. So he's probably 3 hours out, and it's almost 5 o'clock. So he's probably not going to he's going to be so tired. I feel so bad for him. He'll be 8 when he gets here. I think they stopped a couple times on the way home. Okay, so y'all ready for the game? Y'all ready for this? Bum, bum, bum. Okay, this is the game, and I am so excited about it. You guys can help me with it, okay? So last night, I was like, I want to just pick random books, because this is what happens. When I go in to pick a book, I really here, I'll show you the process. So last night, before I was, done with my book, before I went on my walk, because I knew I had, 26 minutes left in my book, I was listening to it while I was rendering my, while I was rendering the vlog, and I was lifting weights and stuff, I was listening to the book. And so I was like, okay, Heads Will Roll, which is another slasher, and I was like, but it takes place at a camp, and I was like, well, this one's at a camp, I don't know that I want to read that. And then I was like, With a Vengeance, the Riley Sager book, I was like, I don't love Riley Sager, and it takes place in the past, so I wasn't real into it. Then I was like, King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby, the new one. I was like, well, if I'm going to read that, I should read, oh, Alex just texted me and said, officially in Indiana. So you take the bridge over from Louisville into Jeffersonville. My friend that lives in Berlin, she originally, before I met her, was from Jeffersonville, Indiana. That's how I know Jeffersonville. But anyway, and then I was like, Atmosphere, the Taylor Jenkins Reid book. So I just kind of skimmed through my books. I was like, well, I really want to read a thriller while I'm walking, and all kind of stuff. I was like, The Tenant by Frida McFadden, and then I was like, oh, I should go watch, I think it's The Housemaid is Watching, the third book in the Frida McFadden book series. So I was like, I should read that when I was going through this. And then All the Mothers Hate Me, Aftertaste, these are all Jordy's reviews. And I was like, should I start with the James Patterson? Oh, somebody said yesterday in my vlog, they said, Peter, maybe it was a couple days ago, they said, Peter, you love James Patterson or something like that. I was like, well, I wouldn't say I love James Patterson. I would say that I have an emotional attachment to my memories of James Patterson. But I am doing the James Patterson Alex Cross read-along because I wanted to read the whole series of the Alex Cross novels because I watched that show Cross on Prime. And although the books are not great, and they're not horrible, some of them are. Some of them are horrible. But I'm enjoying, I mean, by November, we'll have the whole series done. I've read all the Alex Cross novels, and so will anybody else. Mel's doing it with me. Nikki is not. Tanya is not. But there's a couple people that are doing it with me over there. So I think every year I'm going to pick a series. I think next year I may do the Sue Grafton books, like A is for Alibi. I want to pick like a series that like I've wanted to read for a long time, and then like, depending on the length of the series, like the reason why we're doing 3 a month for the Alex Cross books is because there's like 33 books and the 34th book comes out I think in October, which means that we can read that in November or December, and then we'll be caught up on the series. And if anybody wants to continue to read it, any new book that comes out, because one of the reasons why I don't read a lot of James Patterson books anymore, other than they're horrible, is because I like the Maximum Ride book, so I do. I mean, okay, this is the thing. For years, if you watch my vlogs or any of my BookTube videos, I just would say James Patterson is a sellout, like his books are not that great. Like, I think the last one that I read years ago when I was just like, it changed my opinion, was that one about the dogs in New York City. But anyway, Zoo, I think it was called. It's a lot of animals, but there was dogs in it. And it just took me so long to read that, and I was real over it. But now, they're like quick reads. Like, I like to just, they're 2 or 3 pages a chapter. They're real fun to read and get through real quick. They're not deep or anything. I wouldn't say I love James Patterson, but I like, the stories are fun to read. They kind of get your mind off stuff. But anyway, so I was going through here, and I was like, I just saw this John Marrs book come up, and I was like, oh, I remember that, like, that Jordy's Book Club recommended that book. So I'm going to read that book, and I just randomly picked it. I have all these books, and then Monet, I read her comment, and so I thought about this idea of what I was going to do. And then last night, Monet had said on the comment, like, I miss you talking about cozy mysteries, and it really got me in my head. I was like, I miss reading cozy mysteries. Like, I haven't read a cozy mystery in a while, and the part of the reason is because I don't know if I want to start a new series, and then if I'm in a lot of series to read the next one, okay? So here's the deal, okay? Here's the game. Are you ready? The game is that I am going to do I checked it up to see if they have them online, and they do. They have random number generators, like on Google, that you can pick between like 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,001, 1 in 50, 1 in 10, and it will just randomly pick a number. Then I'm going to go down. You can see the first book of my not started is Heads Will Roll. And then whatever that number is, I'm going to count to that number, and that's going to be the next book that I listen to, okay? The only time that I'm planning, okay, to add to that, unless it's a book I have to have, is the 2 credits for this month I'm saving for, hold on a second, I think I took a picture of the 2 books that I'm saving it for, my credits. Hold on. Where is it at? Did I save it? I thought I screenshot this the other day. Oh, here it is. The Ghost Rider, because it's $23, I'm not paying that. So I'm waiting for my credit. And Going Home in the Dark by Dean Kent. So those are what I'm using my credits for. So those will be added to that. But when I add a book, that'll just go to the list. If I finish a book, like in a series, then I'll buy the next one in the series and we'll add that to the list. So you ready? This is going to be so fun. Like, if for some reason, like the James Patterson books, like next week, those will not be part of the random picker, because, so if I come up on a James Patterson book, that will not count. I'll have to repick, okay? But if it's a sequel to a series, or if, I was even thinking about this, I got Christmas books on here. If it's a Christmas book, or if it is, yeah, if it's a Christmas book, I'm not going to, or the James Patterson, or the Alex Cross books, I'm not going to do that, because the Alex Cross books I'm going to read next week anyway. So you guys ready? So any other book in the top 50 goes, except for the Alex Cross and a Christmas book. Okay. And Nikki and I are actually doing, in July, oh, we got to pick our book. She said this to me the other day. We're each going to pick one. So we're going to do a Christmas in July read-along, if you want to do it on my BookTube channel. Go check it out, my book. I don't know when I'll announce it, probably at the beginning of July or something. But we're going to pick each a Christmas book, and then we're going to do a Christmas in July read-along. Christmas thrillers. Okay, random number generator. Well, here it just pulls up. You can just, it says 7, okay? But I didn't hit it already. So you can do that, but I want to hit one of these. Number... Oh, wait. I didn't put 1 through 50. 1 through 50. Now, when it pulls, you'll see, like when I do this, look. Okay, it'll just pull up a number. It says negative 27. Did I not do 1 through 50? Ah! Bugs were on my face. Okay, random number generator. Okay, so the first number it pulls up, you can just see as it says 39. So I'm going to hit roll. When I hit roll, okay, because this is the number that came up when you went to the website. When I hit roll, whatever number it is the book. You ready? 34. So should we count down and see what the 34th book is? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We passed the Alex Cross books. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Ah! Oh my God. Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson is my next book to listen to. Which was also on, I think it's a nonfiction book. The instant New York Times bestseller. Pulitzer Prize finalist, Annie Jacobson's based on dozens of exclusive new interviews. Okay, well that's going to be it. So that's my next book that we're listening to. Nuclear War. That was kind of fun though, wasn't it? I was hoping for something so good. Well, you know what? I'll end up reading this because this has been the thing. Like, I've been picking these random books and then I've ended up loving them. Even the John Mars book that I'm reading right now, I don't love the concept to it, but it's not like I can't finish it. Like, I'm still intrigued with the story. So, I'm like, I buy these books and then I forgot that I bought the books, right? So, I'm trying to get through these books without buying tons more. So, my goal right now is, unless a book comes up that, like, I have to have on Audible, or it's a sequel to a series that I'm reading, I'm not planning to buy. Like, I go in, I buy all these books, I'm like, okay, and then I don't end up reading them, which is why I have a ridiculous amount of books on there. So I'm not doing that. We're going to get through some of the books. We're going to get through some of the books. So, maybe next time, should I do one? Okay, so that will be, should I see what would have been if it was 1 through 100? Let me screenshot this real quick. Okay, let's do random number generator 1 through 100. Wait, how do I get out of this? Okay. All these bugs around me. Get off me, bugs. 1 through 100. Number generator 1 through 100. Okay. So, here's what it pulled up, but we're going to roll it. If it says 34 again, then I meant to read that book. Okay, roll. 86! Okay. What if I pick 2 books? And then between 1 and 2. Okay. 86. Should we count down and see what 86 is? Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay, that was number 34, right? So I don't have to keep, okay, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Oh, wait. 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. The Christmas Killer is number 80. What number did I pick? 86. The Christmas Killer is number 80. Okay. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. I said no Christmas book. The Christmas Jigsaw Murders. So I have to go to the next book that is not a Christmas book. And that is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham. I think Nikki read that book and she really liked it. Well, you know what? We're going to read Nuclear War first and then we'll pick after that. Now I want to pick another one. Should we just do 1 and 20? Look, I changed it to 1 and 20. Okay. It said 174. What? Number generator 1 to 20. Okay, here we go. Roll it. 7. Should we see what the next book is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Phoenix Pencil Company. We're going to do the first one that I picked, because that was the real way that we're doing it. What are you doing? Oh, hold on a second. My neighbor's coming over here real quick. My neighbor next door. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. He had been walking around the neighborhood, and he was looking at different... Okay, so where the wood rotted up there, I just took pictures of it. So where the wood rotted up there, where there was like a hole inside our wall. If I show you guys the pictures, it won't even make sense. But anyway, right now, because I don't know that I really understand it. So this is what it looks like now. I know it doesn't make sense, but anyway. They've moved it. He thinks it's worse now than it was before. And he thinks that it's going to cause wood damage the way that they have it set up now. So tomorrow she's going to have to come out here and look at it, or maintenance, or somebody is. I mean, it can't stay the way it is. Which the problem with this is that they redid it, reconstructed it, then they painted over it. And I said to him, I go, they're not going to want to come out here and redo it and then have to fix all the paint. And he goes, well, it'd be better for them to do it now than when there's wood damage again, and then they have to replace all the wood. All these gnats out here. They have to replace all the wood, and then they have to repaint over it. He goes, right now they can just do some trim. He goes, but they need to fix that. He goes, because it's going to water underneath her roof and underneath your roof, and then what's happening is it's causing wood damage. And he goes, they're going to have to take out that whole wall. It's going to damage the whole side of your condo. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. He goes, and I think it's worse now, because what you can't see in the picture is, before, it was like the thing that catches the rain and goes down the drain. It was right next to the roof, so the water would come down to the roof and go right into it. They moved it over, and so the drain pipe goes into the top of it, but the water that's coming off the roof just goes straight down, which is why I took this video the other night, because I knew that when I talked to the maintenance company, she'd be like, what are you talking about? So I took this video the other night, because they just supposedly fixed all the gutters and everything. Where is my video? This 11-second video. It's so exciting. Hold on. You can see it's like straight dripping straight down. And so I was like, well, what's causing that? And so he couldn't really figure it out. So he started looking to see how the other condos are. Well, they all have drain pipes going into this thing off the roof, but then also they have catchments where the roof comes together. Ours doesn't, which is why that wood right there is rotted. He's like, they need to fix it. He's like, this is worse than it was before. He's like, it's going to rot really quick. So, God, there's gnats around me. So I'm really appreciative that he came and looked at it. So that was really sweet of him. We all look out for each other in here. I'm glad he knows, because I don't know that stuff, and Alex doesn't know that stuff. Oh my God, I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. There's always mosquitoes around. So the book is that I'm going to be starting, picked by the random. We will not do 5 random generators next time. We'll just do 1. The book that I'm starting, and I will do 1 through 50 every time. Okay, so the 1 through 50 is the one. And the book that I picked was Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson. So we will see how good that is. I will tell you if it's a nonfiction book. I'm thinking it's supposed to be kind of like The Hot Zone, which was kind of like, anyway. But if it's like nonfiction, textual, manual kind of stuff, I can't do that. I won't do that. So we'll DNF that book, and I'll pick another randomly generated book, and then I'll let you guys know what it is. But if I read that book, the next book when I'm getting close to it, well, the next book that I should read after this should be the Alex Cross book. So we'll do this one. Unless I get into this book, I'm like, I can't do it. And then the next ones after that will be the Alex Cross book. So when I'm done with the Alex Cross books, I have 3 to read this week, or listen to. So when I get done with those, When I get done with those, I will let you guys, we'll do the random generator, or if I don't, I will do it and I'll let you guys know what the book is. Do you guys want to know how far ahead I am on my Goodreads goal? Okay. I am currently at 57% of my Goodreads goal, and I am 14 books ahead of schedule right now. I've read 64 books out of 112. All right, so let's talk about TV. First of all, somebody said they started Love After Lockup Season 1, Episode 1, and they are so addicted to it, or something like that, that I was right. It is so addicting. I could not stop. Last night I watched like 2 episodes. God, these bugs, my lord. I got back from my nap. I got back from my walk, and I ate. And I walked earlier last night, so I got to walk in like when it was light outside, so it wasn't super late and stuff like that. And I got back and I ate, and I watched like an episode and a half of Love After Lockup, and I got exhausted. So I laid down last night, took a shower, laid down, got up, put on my comfy pajamas, and then I came downstairs, and I was like, okay, tonight I have Sister Wives to watch. So I'm kind of over it. I love doing the reactions, but as far as the show goes, I'm just ready for the season to be over. This is episode 29, and this is the 4th part of the reunion. They're not even a reunion, they're just one-on-ones. I'm just over it at this point. But anyway, so last night I was like, I want to start something that's like one season, like a one and done. And I don't know who you are that recommended this show to me. It was one person that recommended it to me because I put it on my list, Harper's Island. I think it came out in like 2014 or something. So it's about this guy, and I was like, he looks so familiar to me. He was in The Lincoln Lawyer. So it's about this guy, and he spent summers on Harper's Island, which is like an island off of like Seattle. It kind of reminds me of Beaver Island a little bit, like where my mom, like her friend lived, but bigger than that. But it's not a big island, it's a small island. And he's getting married, and so he's marrying like this girl that's like super wealthy, and her family used to summer there and stuff like that. And so he was more of kind of like, he was never really a local because he didn't live on the island year round. He just spent summers there like cleaning boats and stuff with his family. His brother and his parents are gone. And so he's getting married, and they're getting married on this island. And then his best friend is there too, and it's this woman that he like grew up being best friends with, this girl. So anyway, they all go back to the island, but 7 years before that, there was these murders that happened on this island. Like, I think like 6 or 7 people were murdered, and one of them was this girl's mother. And so so each episode there's like people that are killed, and you're trying to figure, it's very much a whodunit. It is so good. I mean, it's kind of dated when you watch it. Like, they all have flip phones and stuff like that. But you guys, it is so good. It is so good. I binge watched the first 5 episodes last night. I mean, I literally, it's 13 episodes. I could have watched the whole season last night. Now, I will tell you this. I had to buy it. I think you can buy it on, like, Prime. I don't know how much a whole season on Prime would cost. I think it's like 99 cents an episode on Apple TV and $1.99 on Prime. I got it on Apple TV, and I bought the whole season for $9.99. I can't find it anywhere where you can watch it. So maybe on YouTube or something like that, but I was just like, I'm just going to buy it. So I bought the whole season for $9.99. I know some people don't want to do that, but do I think it's so good that I would recommend somebody that like doesn't have a lot of money to buy it? No, I definitely wouldn't. But if you don't mind about stuff like that, like I don't, like, yeah, I think it's worth it. It's a really good mystery. I'm kind of surprised this is, like, it gets to the end of the episode and the cliffhanger happens. I'm like, I gotta watch the next one. Sun was coming up. It was like 6:30 in the morning. I was like, you need to go to bed. So I went to bed. I've been drinking the Sleep Dream Tea again. I'm trying to go through this box of, I don't even know what the brand is. I liked it at first. It does help me kind of like fall asleep a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm almost done with the box. So I've been drinking that before I get it. Like, I'll make a cup of that, blow out my candles, and then I drink that before I like am finishing up an episode. So that's it. Bachelor weekend is over. My husband's coming home, and I'm gonna get off here and get this rendered so that I can upload, and then I'm gonna go for my walk, and then when he texts me that he is driving home from his friend's house, I am going to head back home. So my plan is to finish this John Mars book, and then we'll start the Nuclear War book. Oh, he just texted me. What did he say? He said he doesn't know why it's taking so long. Anyway, they keep on stopping. Like, they stop like every hour. So I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to go on my walk. I think I'm just going to wear this t-shirt for my walk. I'm going to go for my walk and get this rendered and then start uploading it. So I render it and then I upload it while I'm gone, so then when I come home, like last night I posted it at 9:30. If I do that and I get it done early enough, hey, how are you? Oh, okay. If I get it done, not friendly. Not my friendly neighbors. I don't know who those people are. I've never seen them, but they like looked over here at me and I was like, hey. Anyway, I render it, and then when it's done being rendered, I like upload it on YouTube. And so then when I get back, when I post it like 11:30 or 11 or something, that's because I get back from my walk that late. But I'm trying not to walk that late, so I can still walk when it's light outside. Yesterday when I started walking, I like made it down the street and I was like, it is so humid, I don't know that I can do this today. And then I ended up walking. I could start feeling the sun coming down. I was like, oh, thank God. And a breeze started coming, all this kind of stuff. All these like gnats around me. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. I hope you're getting refreshed and renewed, relaxed and rejuvenated for the week ahead. It's gonna be a great week. We're gonna be peaceful, calm, and serene through the week, through everything that happens. We're gonna have lots of joy and happiness. Ah, these bugs were on my face, except for the bugs. Joy and happiness, except for the bugs. Anyway, I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.